From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Monday, September 23rd. Get ready for some rain this afternoon and evening, much needed. We also had rain on Sunday, and that brought some twisters to part of the state. Today, nothing severe, but going to be a lot more humid, and definitely going to see some rain later on.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear liners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you could pay with your HSA, FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
What makes a life a good one? Is it the adventure you have? Or the friends you find along the way? Maybe it's pursuing your passion while striving to protect, defend, and save what you believe in every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? In the Coast Guard, we think it's all of the above and more, but you'll have to find out for yourself. Visit gocoastguard.com to learn more.
Severe weather overnight causes damage in at least 2 parts of Indiana. The fallout includes school closings and much discussion about what a landspout tornado is. Meteorologist Ryan Morse will give us a lesson on that coming up. First, though, News 8's Brittany Noble reports on the communities dealing with damage and canceled classes this morning.
Classes are canceled for Jay County. That's because the severe damage that caused the tornado caused bad damage to the senior high school. A spokesperson for the school district tells News 8 that the high school sustained significant damage to its roof and other parts of the school building. These are some pictures posted to social media of the school and other parts of the area that sustained damage last night. The Jay County Emergency Management Agency says storm damage was reported in the area of Beacon Heights and on the west side of Portland. Luckily, no injuries have been reported. The Jay County Management Agency says it will give an update on the recovery there at noon today. Meanwhile, in Yorktown in Delaware County, another tornado was reported. A News 8 viewer sent us this video that shows a rotating funnel cloud. A second video posted on social media shows that landspout in Delaware County. That video was taken from I-69 in Muncie. The Yorktown Fire Department says that tornado caused the collapse of a building here. These are pictures the fire department posted of the TK construction building in the community of Kamak, just north of Yorktown. The fire department says no injuries were reported in that twister. Now, meteorologists from the National Weather Service say that they will be in both those tornado scenes today to assess the damage. Once we get more information, we will certainly keep you posted both on air and online at wishtv.com. I'm Brittany Noble for Wish TV, wishtv.com. Follow us on Facebook for updates.
Taylor Elementary School in Kokomo is also closed because of wind damage from Friday. Taylor Community Schools says that straight-line winds damaged the roof and gym and caused it to peel off a hallway and some classrooms. School leaders say they plan to reconfigure the school so classes can happen tomorrow. Middle school and high school students will have classes as normal today. Meteorologist Ryan Morse explains now what a landspout tornado is.
Usually landspouts are first off weaker than tornadoes, but boy, some of these videos that we have coming in, it might have been a hybrid type situation where it was more of the same. The difference between the two all has to do with the circulation at the surface. So the circulation at the surface, if it's going surface to cloud, that is a landspout, as opposed from a mesocyclone down to the surface, that's a tornado. Now, regardless of classification, damage is still damage, and we are waking up to damage this morning. The National Weather Service will be out later today surveying damage in both west of Muncie and near Portland. The thing they're going to also determine is if it was a landspout or more tornado or a hybrid of both. So still a lot to determine with these tornadoes early on yesterday evening. We'll know more later on today about them.
Indianapolis police are searching for a 7-year-old boy they say was abducted by his non-custodial father. IMPD says Leonardo Garcia Reyes and Amir Garcia Escalante were last seen yesterday near the Castleton Square Mall. Amir is around 4 feet tall and about 60 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. IMPD says his father is driving a gray 2012 Dodge Ram truck with an Indiana license plate. The number is CJK 453. There are pictures on wishtv.com of both Amir and Leonardo and of that truck. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. Your statewide news network covers Richmond, where the police chief is calling a rash of recent school threats madness and says they have to stop. His long plea to parents is part of the announcement of another threat arrest. Chief Rick Thal says officers took a juvenile into custody for a Thursday bomb threat and says what was described as a prank quickly lost its humor. It's the second arrest this month for a threat in Richmond. An FBI tip led authorities to take a 14-year-old in custody on September 12th. Switching gears basketball now, the Indiana Fever must win on Wednesday to stay alive in the WNBA playoffs. Team fell to the Connecticut Sun 93-69 in Game 1 yesterday. Sun held Caitlin Clark in check. She did have 8 assists, including an early one to Kelsey Mitchell, but Clark was held off just to 11 points on 4 of 17 shooting from the field. Fever's head coach says that she hopes her young team will step up this week.
A really good team with a lot of experience. And they know what it takes to step up to that next level, that playoff level. And that's what we're going to be. And that's who we are going to become. And so that is, they made it really difficult, and we've got to close that gap.
The first round of the playoffs is a best-of-3 series with the first 2 games in Connecticut. Fever take on the Sun again Wednesday night. The loss puts a damper on what should have been another time for celebration for Caitlin Clark. She was named the WNBA's Rookie of the Year by the Associated Press over the weekend. Clark was the unanimous choice by the 15-member media panel. She was also named to the AP All-WNBA and All-Rookie teams. The Indianapolis Colts have their first win of the season in a back-to-basics win over the Bears. Colts pounded out 150 yards rushing yesterday against Chicago. Jonathan Taylor had his second straight 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns, including a 29-yarder in the second quarter. Trey Sermon also punched one in. Colts held a late charge from the Bears to win it 21-16 and are now 1-2 on the season. After the game, coach, players, they offered some enthusiasm for the win and a promise to keep getting better. News 8's Andrew Chernoff takes us to the locker room.
For the first time this season, the Indianapolis Colts will begin a new week fresh off a victory. Indy getting its first win of the year, beating the Bears on Sunday. It was not the prettiest win, but hey, at the end of the day, a win is still a win. The Indy offense struggled at times, turning the ball over twice, but the defense stepped up in a big way, forcing 3 Bears turnovers.
Good team win. I mean, shoot, they're hard to come by sometimes in this league, but guys played hard. Defense played their tails off. I think 63 yards on the ground, 3 takeaways, but, stuff to clean up, but good to get the first one for sure.
Everybody's excited. Everybody's juiced up, but, Shane just told us we got a lot of stuff to clean up, which we know. All we needed was 1, so hopefully we can keep the train rolling and just stack the dubs up.
It definitely feels good, especially in front of our home fans, man. Our fans, they've been so good to us, supporting us, being loud, turned up at the games, man. And I know, we hadn't did our part, but I'm glad that we was able to give them a win today and just, something to build on and keep moving forward with.
The main thing, for us to just prevail. We didn't start off how we wanted the last 2 weeks. And, we being right there, we was just like, man, it comes down to, execution, being disciplined, just doing your job, and that's what we came out here and did today.
We have a lot to clean up. You always want to end up in the win column. At the end of the day, that's always the number 1 priority, is come out with the win. But we know we got to go to work. It's still early, and we got a lot to get better at if we want to get to where we want to go.
These seats will be filled once again next Sunday when the Colts welcome the Steelers to town. Indy will be in search of its 2nd straight win over the Steelers, something that this franchise has not been able to do since moving here to the Circle City. Inside Lucas Oil Stadium, Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Congressional leaders say they have reached a deal to head off a government shutdown. It's a short-term spending bill that would fund federal agencies for about 3 months. In announcing the deal, Speaker Mike Johnson says it's not the solution anyone prefers, but it's the most prudent path. The agreement avoids a deadline crisis when the new budget year begins October 1st and pushes financial decisions until after the November election. Both chambers are poised to vote on the deal this week. Several top staffers for the Republican candidate for governor of North Carolina have resigned. It comes after an explosive CNN report that unearthed old comments from Mark Robinson on a porn website. The report says Robinson made a series of inflammatory comments on the website's messaging board, including describing himself as a black Nazi and expressing support for bringing back slavery. Robinson has denied making the comments and still has the apparent support of former President Donald Trump. Yesterday, Robinson's campaign manager, deputy campaign manager, finance director, and senior advisor all stepped down from his campaign, but Robinson says he is committed to staying in the race. Now to your business headlines. Jane King is at the NASDAQ in New York with rising incomes in Indiana.
So Census Bureau data says incomes are rising in Indiana. Now, Indiana's median income is almost $77,000. That's up nearly 6% since 2022. Now, the state benefits from a diverse amount of growing industries. Sugar's biggest jump since 2008 is a fresh threat to food prices. There's been blistering heat in Brazil, and that's damaged crops. That could drive up the cost of everything from coffee to candy. And dairy company H.P. Hood has voluntarily recalled Lactaid. That's a lactose-free dairy milk in 27 states, including Indiana. This is due to potential exposure to almonds. The FDA says the milk could contain trace amounts of almonds, which are not listed on the label. So that would pose a risk to people with allergies. Although no illnesses have been reported, it can be returned to the store for a full refund. Amazon has posted a job for a principal nuclear engineer. Some see this as a signal to a potential shift toward nuclear energy for its data centers. Now, utility companies are challenging Amazon's nuclear deal with Thailand Energy, saying there's concerns about cost to ratepayers. But just Friday, Microsoft and Constellation Energy announced it will reopen 3 Mile Island to supply nuclear energy to power its AI business. And the Dow rose Friday to close at a new record high. All three major indexes had weekly gains on that bigger than expected interest rate cut. And today we're pointing slightly higher. Live from the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King.
This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Whether you're scouring business financial sites or listening to economics podcasts like this one till your ears ring, you'll find there's no surefire secret to successfully managing your company's finances for the future. It turns out you might just need to pair with PNC Corporate and Institutional Banking, whose team of dedicated relationship managers bring 160 years of experience, pragmatic advice, and an array of tools and tech to scale to any size business. In fact, they're so tuned in to what you need, they knew you'd be listening to this podcast. As for that ringing in your ears, that's the brilliant sound of success. PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC and PNC Bank are registered marks of the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., PNC. Copyright 2024, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., all rights reserved.
You know that feeling when your favorite brand really gets you? Deliver that feeling to your customers every time. Memorable moments like these are key to building your business and your brand. Klaviyo turns your customer data into real-time connections across AI-powered email, SMS, and more, making every moment count, so you can continue to build smarter, more meaningful relationships with your customers. Build smarter digital relationships with your customers and make every moment count with Klaviyo. Learn more at klaviyo.com/BFCM.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.